Park, but he picked me up, really. They were playing tennis, and I was 13.
Yeah.
I weighed 170 pounds, and he put me on his bike and drove me home.
You said, boy, if you could do that.
And,
What park was this?
and at Vanderveer Park.
Ah.
And then he went home and got a quarter so he could take me to the St. Paul Bazaar. And he would come over with his gang, and he would play his harmonica. And when I told Mother we were getting married, she said, "The one that played the harmonica on the front porch?" And I said, "That's the one." And in between there, we didn't date much, and I went to ICA, which was the Catholic high school, because Mother wanted one of us to graduate from there. But I didn't like it because they made you work too hard. And so
Where was Dad going to school during all this? Where did
he was going to the other intermediate school.
Oh, okay.
And anyhow, then when he went to the high school, then I joined that.
Oh,
And
is
then-
that Davenport High?
In Davenport High.
Oh, okay.
It was Davenport High. I forget what they call it now.
Central.
But what?
They call it Central High now.
Central
Yeah.
High. And so then we didn't date much, and I couldn't go to the prom because I had this fellow that wore this high collar, he wore, and was very exacting, and it was a civics class, and he made you memorize the Constitution. And
Would you recite it for us?
well, I know on January 26th, and the president gives a speech and what have you. But anyhow, so I didn't get my report card. And so I said, we've got 6 months, I think, to make that up, or 3 months. And Dad said, no, you've just got a month. So, and you cannot go beyond the terrace. And so that put me out of the prom. And so anyhow, there was something.
I told him I was going to have trouble getting you to talk, but I see that's not a real problem.
I told you I was born at a very early age.
All right, so, but I'm kind of interested in this whole proposal thing. I mean, you
Oh.
graduated when you were 18, right?
And then I went into nurses
Right.
training.
Where did he go?
He went in the Navy.
Okay.
He
So-
always wanted to go in the Navy.
All right.
And so he went in and step by step got his education and went from enlisted to officer. And
But he wasn't an officer when.
not when I married him.
No,
No.
you were the reason that he became so successful.
And we really had discrimination between the enlisted and the officers,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so, and nothing was ever out of your reach at home,
Right.
know.
But now you were in nursing school,
Yeah,
and he was off being a sailor,
right.
and he'd come back every now and again, though, right? And
Oh,
you
yes.
guys would go
And-
out and.
He would write me letters, and the nuns would wait for my mail because he put some sexy things on it.
Oh,
And so, anyhow, she left the convent, but I don't know whether that
To
had
marry a
anything to.
sailor?
Yeah.
I don't know whether that had anything
Looked
to do
good.
with it.
Keep the mail? Did the nuns keep it? They wouldn't let you see it?
Oh yeah, they know, but they looked at it first. And
Oh,
so, anyhow, then one night we were out while I was in training, and
Where were you training?
and
What was the name of the?
Mercy Hospital, Davenport, Iowa, and he asked me to marry him. And
Now, where was that?
that was in the car. We went back to Vanderveer Park.
Okay. Oh, neat.
Yeah.
How romantic.
And he didn't have a bicycle, he had a car.
Great stuff, huh?
Yeah.
That's better.
Marty and I are kind of interested in the ring.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Did he have a diamond or?
Well, he went to Planck's Jeweler, which was a very good place.
Oh.
Right.
And he got my diamond, which is in this ring.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't really big, but it was nice.
Sure.
It was, but the wedding ring was pretty cheap. And so now you boys made it over, and I love it. So that's about the story.
So yeah, and when was that? And now that you got married in 1945, but when did he propose?
He proposed. What did he see?
Hold on.
He what?
You're okay. When did he propose? How far before the wedding? You got married on June 13th, so when
Well,
did
it
he?
was at least 9 months.
Okay.
Is there a story there we'd like to know?
Now
Well,
that,
see, you weren't allowed to marry in training, and
okay.
and I had an appendectomy only because my blood count was high, and they couldn't leave me out without it. But doing that, and it was free. But every time somebody looked at that scar, they'd say, and I'd say, well, it was free.
It was worth every penny.
It was our family doctor, and so where am I now?
So he proposed in Vanderveer Park, and it was about 9 months before your wedding, and then you got married in St. James Cathedral in Brooklyn, New York.
And he's got the pictures of the place.
I've got the pictures.
And we couldn't go beyond the altar because we couldn't go to the altar.
Oh, that's, you were saying that earlier.
Because he was a heathen.
Is this the 10?
That's what they call it. Yeah, and
Yes.
so anyhow, that's it. Do we just pass these around?
No, what you have
No, we're done.
They could have done a good job by themselves.
I
You know
think,
what I remember are the wonderful parties that
Yeah.
we would have, that you
Nothing you can do
and
about it.
Bud would put together for us in the backyard, over Grandma and Grandma's house.
yeah.
Those were the best parties. They were
Oh, the
games.
reunions.
The games.
Yeah.
The games
Oh,
that
yeah.
they would put together for us were so much fun. Oh yeah, we all look forward to those.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
So they got married in New York City in June 13th of 1945. And from that union came John and Mike and Marty and Hank, and we were
And not-
unleashed on an unsuspecting world.
Not necessarily in that order.
Yes. So anyway, thank you all so much for coming. I know some of you have traveled a long way. And I'd like to thank John for really putting this all together, and everybody that helped John. I don't know all what went on because every time. And I'd like to thank Mom for hanging around 90 years to make this all possible.
All right.
Hey, let's do a little happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jean. Happy birthday to you. And bunches more.
You're not gonna eat the cake?
I am. I'm just lifting it off of my delicate.